as far as this particular flagship club of the Luthra brothers is concerned in Vagator, now it is going to be demolished. It has also been deemed illegal. It is not really having the requisite clearances that are needed. More details on that.
Yes, certainly. So they have multiple restaurants apart from a restaurant in Goa where the incident had taken place. They have a restaurant in Delhi also, in Civil Lines area, which is a posh area of Delhi. And apart from that Civil Lines area, there is another restaurant in Netaji Subhash Place. So certainly they have multiple restaurants, and all the restaurants would be under scanner of local authorities. Certainly these restaurants will not be the part of investigation. The part of the investigation would be restricted to that particular restaurant. But certainly all the restaurants would be facing action from the local authority if there is any norms which they have flouted. Back to you.
What has been found out as far as this particular property at Vagator is concerned, Ankur?
So it's in Vagator. It's a very famous Romeo Lane restaurant in Goa, and certainly this recently they have opened it, and before that they already opened multiple restaurants in different part of the different states. And this particular property, we were told that this was the newest property which was opened by them, and it was very famous among the local area. Back to you.
Right, Ankur, do stay on with us. Yesha also continues to be with us. Yesha, bulldozer action that has started, and right on your screens you do see the JCB in action. The demolition has started, Yesha. As far as the Vagator beach is concerned, this property, Birch Pie Romeo Lane, the flagship club of the Luthra brothers, getting demolished as we speak.
Absolutely. In fact, this is not the first such instance of irregularities at this very media club. Is this very club at Goa was in fact highlighted. What's important is that even before this was where there has been time and again where irregularities were in fact brought to court. More recently, it was in May when notice was issued to this club stating that there is illegal construction that has taken place in around this club, and all of that was asked to be brought down, but clearly that was something that was given a blind eye to, and which is now the fact that these irregularities are being highlighted, and the first club is where we've seen that. Right.
Yesha, you talk about the illegal construction part of the club. So the entire club is going to be demolished, or just that part which has been deemed illegal is going to be taken down today?
It is just the illegal part of the structure which is now to be brought down. There is approximately more than 198 square meters of the area which is totally illegal. This very club that we speak of is closer to the beach. So yes, when it comes to this very action against them, not the entire club, but just the illegal part of the club is to be demolished. Like we were speaking about, when it comes to irregularities at the club, earlier with Birch, there were several irregularities that were flouted, and so is the case now with this very club as well. There are several authorities which have time and again flouted and questioned the irregularities at this club, but however, no action was taken on the club before this.
Yes. What was the notice that was sent out to this property by Birch Pie Romeo Lane? Were there any people to receive that notice? Was this put out talking about this illegal extension to the property that is right now being taken down by the JCB?
So this very club that we speak of is not Birch Pie Romeo Lane. This is one of the flagship clubs of the Luthra brothers. When we speak of action against them, there are several clubs that the Luthra brothers operate across the entire country. In Goa itself, these are two clubs which have been highlighted. There are several of them which are run by Luthra brothers. What's important to note at this point of time is that Romeo Lane, when it was issued a notice in May this year itself, there are questions that were raised on several illegal structures, illegal changes that were made to the structure at this club. Now, with this being highlighted is where an action is being taken, an illegal part of the structure is being brought down by the authorities. Yes.
All right, Ankur also continues to be with us on the broadcast. Ankur, Yesha mentions about this notice, about this illegal structure which was part of Romeo Lane that was set up, an extension that was made to this property at Vagator. And it was, that notice was sent out in May this year itself. That's how long back this notice was sent out. But nothing so far was done by either the owners, and the authorities only taking action now after such a tragedy that has emerged, where this other property, where the blaze reportedly killed these 25 people.
Yes, certainly. So there are questions which needs to be answered by the local authorities, including the police as well. So the notice was sent earlier, and there was no action. There was no reply. If there was no reply from the authority or the management of the restaurant, so they could have taken action earlier, which could have saved the life. And also from the local police, if I tell you, there are multiple CCTVs here, and local police can easily gather information about the timeline, which they can easily establish in the court. But certainly Goa police has not visited this residence or the office, and after certain time, these evidences would be vanished. So certainly there are multiple questions which local authorities would have to they have to answer. Certainly it is about the delays which were done by the local authority in taking action, and also why if there was no fire NOC, why this restaurant was running. Back to you.
Right, absolutely. You are talking about how this particular group has various properties across the country, many in Delhi, NCR as well. What is the status of those properties, those restaurants? Are they functioning? Have they been shut down at the moment, fearing action? What is the status there, Ankur?
So certainly, local authorities must have contacted the restaurants, especially if I tell you about the restaurants in Delhi. So local authorities must have contacted them, asked them to submit their full details, and also the MCD sent a notice to Civil Lines, their restaurant in Civil Lines, few months back. So obviously the local authorities in Delhi also, they must be communicating with the authority and the management, since both the brothers are absconding. So it would be tough for the lower staff to run a restaurant if there is nobody from the top management is looking after these restaurants. Back to you.
Right, Yesha, and so far the authorities have not managed to get anybody who's working for the Luthra brothers on record to get in the whereabouts of the brothers or any details about these properties, because this action was something that this club must be fearing since May, but clearly nothing was done about it, and that's the brazenness that they have been functioning out of Goa, and that is what resulted in this tragedy at the other location where the blaze happened.
Absolutely. In fact, when we speak of these questions are based on how these properties are functioning without with having illegal structures. Apart from that, also when it comes to this property, what's another important point to note is that several of these properties did not have the requisite documents on them. So all of this is, of course, a question that remains unanswered. But time and again, like we were speaking about, the authorities had sent letters to those associated with the company, to Luthra brothers. But whether any kind of questioning was done, or was there, or was there, for that matter, any kind of pressure that was mounted onto the authorities to ensure that no action is taken, is something that still remains unclear. Authorities have gone ahead to say that they are in fact looking into the entire issue, but whether this action was stopped earlier as well, because so far there are several leaders in Goa who've gone ahead to in fact critique on the political clout of the Luthra brothers, stating that even earlier as well, when these clubs were formed, there were questions that were raised in the club. There were several irregularities on the part of the club, but despite all of these irregularities, the clubs were given a permission. So all of these are in fact points that are time and again highlighted on various political platforms. However, on the part of Luthra brothers, there's absolutely no information, because this is again a war of words that we see unfolding over the tragedy that took place. So, yes.
Ankur, there have been a lot of issues that have been associated with Romeo Lane. This particular incident of this blaze that happened had performers from Kazakhstan that were performing. They did not have the requisite visa to be working in the country. These details have also emerged while we look at this demolition from Vagator that's currently underway, demolishing the illegal structure of the flagship club of the Luthra brothers that's currently underway. Ankur?
Yes, certainly. So there are multiple authorities who are now working to check the license, permission and everything, whether the Romeo Lane in Goa had those permission or not. But the question arises here is why only after the incident? Why
Yes.
authorities even in Delhi, if they are checking the permission and the license or any documentation, why only after the incident and why only restrict to a particular restaurant? It should be ideally with all the other restaurants also. If I tell you about there are multiple restaurants who in Hoskas, in other places also, which is in multiple times they have been termed as tinderbox. So they have a very narrow escape. In case of any fire, it would be very tough for anyone to escape from from the restaurant. Same thing happened in that particular restaurant in Goa. So certainly authorities must have taken action earlier so that 25 lives could have been saved. Back to you.